Well, guys, welcome to Operation Hannibal. Hannibal? Elephants, that's why. This is a 3-week trip through Botswana to find the best of what Botswana can offer. And let me tell you, it was just epic, awesome, amazing. The first installation is very short because we were so rushed. We land at 10 p.m. thanks to KLM. You find a hotel for the evening. Then you shoot through the Midrand to Bush Lore to their depot to get the vehicles. You get a short explanation. And by midday, you're on the road heading towards Gaborone, towards the Botswana border. And now we'll pick up our story on the road at Mokolodi Game Reserve. So we came through the Skilpad's Hek border post. It's a very small kind of road, an extension of the N4 that leads to that point. Which is way south of Gaborone, about 70 kilometers. The South African side was so quickly dispatched within 2 minutes. Basically, you walk in, they ask you your registration number, look at your passport, and you go. The Botswana side, they're busy building this huge new building, which is looking really fancy. But in the meantime, we're being dispatched through these little containers where they have a makeshift office. And we have to go through there. It's all paperwork, handwritten form stuff. And you have to pay for your vehicle to go into Botswana, which was for us 60 pula. But if your insurance is out of date, it's another 150 on top of that, to be aware of that. We had to walk into this little kettle dip thing, just stand there in your shoes, which is all pretty standard. From there we headed up north towards Gaborone, and that was quite an interesting little drive because we were late, and it's a double lane road. It's quite busy, a lot of trucks, a lot of overtaking involved, so yeah, a bit of fun there. And we got to Mokolodi, which is about, let's say, 10-15k south of Gaborone. Lovely reception area, nice little restaurant they've got there, although it only closes at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m, so be aware of that. Very good reception, nice and friendly. I would say definitely recommend it as a little overnight stop on your way into the big parks of Botswana. So yeah, really excited now. We've got another 3 weeks ahead of us, which is fantastic. This is actually doing Botswana a little bit more justice. We're going to have a lot of different stuff to see. We've got the Kalahari, which is basically semi-desert. Then we go to the Okavango, and then way up to the Chobe River. We'll make it to Vic Falls this time, I promise. And then we head back south again around the Salt Pans, which is really cool as well. So of course, Botswana has so much to offer. It's pretty accessible. People are very friendly. I think the only good thing is the pula has gone up, but the good thing is the diesel is cheaper, so you can work it all out, as we see in Eland right next to us.
Hello, beautiful. This campsite is absolutely beautiful, lots of nature, and kudu. We've seen beautiful sightings of kudu. And, you know, there are no big predators, so they're relatively calm. If you're in your car, they're a lot happier than if you're on foot, because they kind of like disappear quite a bit. But wow, beautiful place, lovely introduction. Our friends have never been to Africa, so this is just such a beautiful way to gently introduce people into the magic of Mama Africa.
So the campsite's pretty cool. There's quite a drive from reception to get there. You have to really pay attention to where you're going. They're very big, so you can fit a lot of vehicles in here if you need to, if you want to have a nice group. It's got a nice braai area, which is cool. It's got a little toilet, which is like quite a luxury. It's got a little donkey boiler for the shower, which is fantastic. It's just a really open shower. You're showering in the bush, no roof, nothing, half a wall and all that. Really good, I can recommend that. So that's cool for big groups as well. And it's all open, you know, no fencing and all of that stuff. As we make our way back now to the reception and the restaurant to try and get some coffee or tea, because we're kind of trying to wake up as well as we go. So yeah, welcome to Botswana, guys. Let's do this. Let's have a look at Botswana.
this is a great opportunity to introduce you to our crew. Right up front is Rob and Diana's beautiful chariot, it's a Toyota Land Cruiser. And then, yeah, you can see over there's tar road and then the sand road. So we're heading back to, we obviously need to put our tyre pressures down to be able to go on the gravel road. 1.8.
2 bar.
You're going to take it to 1.8?
No, 2.
And then this is the Toyota Hilux that Sol and I've got. We have managed to score some firewood from the locals, which is really cool. You can see we've got all of our water, which is, the compressor was underneath here, so we've had to unpack everything to be able to get the compressor out so we can deflate our tyres. This is Naomi's pickup with the bush lamper. So the back of it is pops up. This is the Land Cruiser of our buddies Vidar and Anna Helene, all the way from Norway. Is it warm enough for you, Vidar?
It's no problem at all. We are not only Vikings when it comes to frost. We are also Vikings when it comes to the heat.
Exactly.
I think 2.2 at the back because we're so loaded up with water. 2 at the front. Should be a much better drive on the gravel. It will save the car and us, I think. And yeah, it will be the last time we air down or up for the next week. So it will be good.
Unless there's sand. Unless there's deep sand.
Unless there's deep sand, then we call the hand cruisers in to come and winch us through.
This is Khutse 8.
Good morning, everybody. Here we are again. Now we're on Khutse campsite. One over here, one over here, one over here. I think we are happy.
We are. Yes.
Looks happy. Really nice little campsite this. It's very difficult to find. We tried to find it yesterday. We got a bit lost. Yeah, it's already quite late now. It's nearly 8 o'clock, which is not very good for game viewing, but day one and it's success. To get here was quite interesting. We had to drive from Mokolodi Game Reserve near Gaborone. It was about 250 kilometers. Half of it's on the hard top, then it gets dirt road. And then just before Khutse, the dirt road becomes a we call it a tweespoor in South Africa, which means it's just a 2-lane track. And everywhere into this environment is basically soft sand, kind of like beach sand, if you can see that. So you definitely need a 4x4 around here to get anywhere. We had a really nice evening. It was very quiet. We didn't see many animals though, so we have to get our animal spotting game up. I would say there's about, you can see in the background there's the other campsite. So we have about 100 meters at least between campsites, which is quite cool.
How's it doing, dude?
Dude.
We're in Khutse.
Je moet ook naar jezelf doen, hè? Make a film to yourself. This is your last day.
If you look behind you, the sun is just coming up over the horizon. The moon.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ik wil het zeggen, hè?
I'm almost 55.
Yes, it's your last day.
And tomorrow you will still be 39.
Papa.
Thank you.
You are now. And now the one.
I like to move it. She likes to move it.
You have your typical shower. Our bucket is missing. There's the loo, open pit latrine. This is campsite number Kubu 8. And we have a special occasion today because it is the birthday girl. This one here. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Gloria. Happy birthday to you. Hip hip hooray!
39.
Yes.
What a better way to spend a birthday than in the Khutse Game Reserve. Now we're going to head north into the CKGR towards Bape. And then we go to Nxai and then Letiahau Kori in the Piper Pans, Deception Pan. And then we head up first to Maun. So we've got another 4 days here. Hope we have enough firewood to last us. Most importantly, do we have enough beer? Crucially. Yeah, I can definitely recommend this place. It's fantastic. There's nothing around here. Very secluded, very isolated. Yeah, if you can do it, get here and have a look. This is a very good stop on your way into the CKGR because we've done Johannesburg to Mokolodi and Mokolodi to here. It took a day each, so it's a lot of driving. Very excited. We have 100 k's today to get to Bape on the 2-lane road, and we'll see what we can see if we can spot any game.
Look at the goosebumps. We're in the Kalahari. Wow.
Well guys, welcome to the Kalahari, which is pretty cool. This is the first time we've been in this area. This is the CKGR. It is an enormous piece of land, as big as the Netherlands, in fact a little bigger. And there's nothing here. No settlements, no villages, no people. Just a couple of little spots where you can camp, and for the rest it's just one little road heading right through it. And you feel really remote and really privileged actually to be here. And the good part about this is that it's a barrier to entry. You need a 4x4 here. You need to be well prepared. You need to be, you have supplies for about 5 days at least. We're doing 5 days to get to Deception Pan, which I think is still ambitious. Can you believe that? But we have a lot more to see and do as we go over this corrugation. And yeah, it's summer, so it's still quite a little bit overgrown, I guess, which adds to the charm of the place. Makes it a bit difficult to see animals, but basically we're not really here for the animals either. We're just here to experience what it is, and Africa just gets under your skin a little bit. Yeah, check out, this is our tweespoor with a middle mannetjie. So this is how we term the stuff back in SA. You guys will understand, obviously. It's a bit sandy, but it's not deep sand yet. It's still quite early. It's hardly 8:30, so the sand is warmed up yet. Later on it gets really soft, you know, and you have to really work hard to get through it. But right now it's just a bit bumpy from the washboards, which is unavoidable unless you have a tank track or something.
That defeats the object of being in Mother Nature.
But that defeats the point of being in Mother Nature, I've just been told. So yeah, it's quite green, which is quite nice. So there has been a little bit of rain down here. Obviously this is a lot more dry than up north in the Okavango area, in the Chobe, Moremi area. So this is like semi-desert. This is the Kalahari. Kalahari is classified, kind of, as a desert in my book. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, fantastic to be here. It's perfect temperature. It's nice and cool at night still. It's about 34, 35 during the day, which is pretty hot, but doable. And at night it cools right down, and it's really pleasant. So yeah, come out here, man. Come and check it out in March. It's the 1st of March. As we saw, special day as well for some. And yeah, I think she's having a good time.
I am. There is no better way to spend your birthday. No better way. Wake up with the sunrise, through the tent window. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I think I'll give that a thumbs up. It's quite lush. There's a lot of bushes around. The grass is quite high, as you can see. And yeah, we haven't spotted any animals yet, but maybe we're just in the lower corner. The further north we go, the better it will be. But having said that, that's not the point of being here. It's not about ticking off your animals and stuff. It's about enjoying the moment, enjoying being in Africa, just being on the bushveld, being on your own. There's nobody else around. This is probably as remote as you get, which is really cool. Unbelievable. The temperature on the dashboard says 46. The sand is soft as beach sand. We can't stop, otherwise we can't get moving again. It's blistering hot. The sand is really bumpy, so you have to pace yourself to not bottom out all the time, but try and get some momentum as well. Very slow going here. This is the cut line as far as I can tell, because it's just straight as anything. Nothing to be seen either side of us. Maybe because of the heat. Yeah, loving every minute. Fantastic. So here's another cut line. Look at that. Straight as anything. In the middle of nowhere. Fantastic.
I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like. Find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding the bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. me care. Anytime I make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb, and I think that the pain is
Day 4, here we are at Xaxa or Xaxa campsite. Xaxa. You tell me if that's the correct pronunciation. This is literally in the middle of the CKGR, and it's fantastic to be here. Down in the distance there, I don't know if you can see them, a whole herd of elephants. I think there's some kind of water pump there. It's some kind of solar powered thing, which is good for them because it is really very dry at the moment. Very hot as well. It's about 38, 40. A little bit of cloud cover now, which is giving us a little bit of shade, which is nice. Yesterday we were at Bape, which you might have heard of. It's about 100 kilometers from Khutse Gate, which is near Kaudwane, if you're coming from Gaborone side. Unbelievably tough. I would say halfway to get from Kaudwane Gate, from Khutse to Bape is about 50 k's. No problem really. From there, there's a little village there, some kind of Khoisan people living there, which is really remote, which is really strange in the middle of this game reserve. But from there, there is a water truck which comes through, which is probably a 20-ton truck, as flies buzz around. 20-ton water truck which brings water to the village, but it chews up the road to dust, and not just dust, talcum powder. Let's say powdered milk kind of thing. So you're just churning up the sand.
Just taking a picture.
Yeah, it's very soft sand here in this section.
This brings back memories, dudes.
We had a really tough time getting through there. We had a lot of winching to do, a lot of moments where we were really stuck. Tough road to get there to Bape. It took us a long time, 100 k's. It took us about 8 hours, which is indicative of how tough it is out here. Really good campsite there. There's nothing there at all. There's a tree and a little leftover of a fire, piece of wood, and that's it. The rest you got to do yourself, everything. From there we left this morning at about 8 a.m. and we looked at the map and we remembered our route from yesterday, and we thought, okay, we better get moving. And the first part was quite rough because that's the same road the trucks take, but then you peel off and you take the cut line east, then it goes north and then east and then north again. That's literally straight lines. It's fantastic to be here though in the Kalahari. Just what I wanted. Beautifully remote, hot, dry. Never thought what this would be like. It's really open here. This is the Xaxa. There's nothing here either. This is all us. It's basically a little roundabout, if you like, in the middle of nowhere, and that's where you make your camp. And there's no ablution blocks, nothing, no facilities at all, which is just awesome really. In one way, it's really remote. It's really Africa. As I said, the elephants are right down there. They're probably hanging around the water hole. I don't blame them at all. We'll see what happens tonight. If we get any game coming through the camp. It's just awesome to be here. Tomorrow we have another 180 k's to Letiahau, to that campsite. We'll see what happens there. That's a long day. That's about 9-10 hours in the car. Try to make some time in the morning, leave really early. And then from there we go to Kori campsite, which is near Deception Pan, as you might know, Piper Pan, which is a very short little loop. And from there the gate's pretty close and we're off to Maun. But just to be here in this area, which is the size of, unbelievable how big this place is. I would say it's about 400 k's by 400 k's. Work that out, I don't know. Yeah, I would say come here if you can. It's blazing hot. 38 to 40 degrees at the moment. Sun's back out again behind the clouds. We're trying to get some shade. That's all we're trying to do. And actually just trying to get some liquids down because you really dehydrate a lot down here.
Please let the sun go down on me.
This is amazing, people. We're just us, just the 7 of us. We've got the sunset. We're in Africa bush, and like over there are the elephants. I promise. Yes, we can see them any minute. One of these ones we can see them. Yeah, through there. I promise. They're over there. But wow, man, we've got a fire going. Diana's baking our veggies. We've got some chicken pieces in the poiki pot. And on that side, we've got dinner for tomorrow night. Why? Because we've got a 9-hour drive tomorrow. And how many kilometers?
Why do we come here? Are we crazy? It's hot, long road, dusty, simmering in the heat. And what do we do it for?
Oh man, look at this.
Maybe for this.
This is the life.
This way?
Yes, it's still hot. Here is your friend.
It's raining. Plaatselijke bui. Heerlijk. Eigenlijk zouden er 2 moeten staan. Storm.
And then the palm leaf. Shall we peel you a grape?
So in the Kalahari there are no real roads. There's one road leading from one place to the next. That's it. There are no side roads, no loops around. And these roads are actually just tracks. Twin tracks, like I told you, very soft sand, very tough going. And be prepared for anything that can happen on the way, because yesterday morning we had this elephant in the road walking away from us in the road, and we were following it for about 20 minutes, half an hour, and it was just sauntering along, and there's nothing you can do to go around. You just have to wait, even though you have a very long day ahead of you.
Elephant roadblock.
Well, good morning, guys. A very different proposition last night. Look around you. This is green. We haven't seen grass actually for a really long time. This lodge is called Palm Afrique. They've got quite a few palm trees here, which is nice. There's green grass, a lot of trees, a lot of shade, a lot of campsites. Basically, you just pay per person and you can just park where you like. Facilities are really good. Got some lapas there. There's power points, so you can plug your power in. There's water everywhere. Nice little braai area there, which we used last night. Good showers, very nice shower. Obviously the rest is a couple of pools, 2. There's a restaurant and a bar. Very good value here, 210 per person per night. I think it's fantastic. And why are we here? Well, I'll tell you, Kalahari is quite hardcore. If you haven't been there yet, be prepared for some really hardcore driving. Soft sand. Smooth road. What a smooth road.
Cute.
Going back to the main road, I hope. No, this is doing a loop now. We had a few troubles, as I've told you before, a couple of days ago. We had to winch ourselves out. There was a lot of really challenging driving. And the thing with this challenging driving in this heavy sand is that your fuel consumption just skyrockets. You won't believe how much fuel you use. We drove, I think, I'll do the sums just now and I'll tell you how much we used. But to get out of the Kalahari, you have to go, we came up through Khutse, Bape, Xaxa, and then Makgadigadi. And from Makgadigadi, there's another 70 kilometers of this really rough stuff before you get to a proper, really wide, really smooth, nice little dirt road, which they just graded a few days before. So we had a little bit of luck there, which is quite nice. Still a heavy, heavy day. The sand is white around here. It reflects, and it is so hot and dusty, unbelievable. So this is like a little oasis for us. A lot of green around here, very calm. It's a lovely little mini ranch, mini farm if you like. What I can recommend about the Kalahari is Xaxa campsite. Fantastic. Obviously, as you saw, there's nothing there. It's just a little patch of ground in the middle of nowhere, but you're on a little bit of a rise and you look down into the valley, and that valley has a little borehole which sometimes works, and that's where the elephants are. A lot of big group of elephants there, and then lions. Wow. We heard the lions go roaring at night. I think they were about 200 meters away, not that far. All night long, from midnight right until about 5 a.m. Every half an hour, these guys would go roar, roar. And it was really, really exciting, exhilarating.
Are you all smiling?
Victoria, what are you saying now?
Some of us can smile. That is a place I'd really like to go back to, maybe spend a couple of days or a week or two just in that site. It's a struggle to get there, but it is really worth it. So on the roads in Kalahari from Khutse up to Bape is not too bad. It's quite hard. From Bape to Xaxa you will struggle, and that's because there's a village there, Khoisan village, and there's a big truck, a 6x6 MAN water truck. Hope you can hear me with the wind. And this water truck delivers water to that village. There's about, I don't know, a couple hundred people living there, and that's their only source of water because the boreholes run dry, and this truck has to go there. It's a government thing that they've supporting the Khoisan, which is good because in effect the Khoisan have been displaced out of the Kalahari, out of their home, into a place called Nxai, which is a little village that the government set up to move them out of the park. So yeah, they had to pay for that. They each got a couple of cows or something ridiculous if you think about it. And a lot of the Khoisan who moved there actually moved back into the park. You know, this is their tradition. This is where they're supposed to live. So this fuel truck is really necessary for living out there. It chews up the road. Because of that truck, the track is wider and it is soft as anything because the weight of that truck. And you're trying to get through there with these things. And it was just such tough going. If you're going to come here, I would recommend a Land Cruiser. Much stronger, much more capable. Those things manage to pull these ones out because these ones get really stuck as well eventually. And these ones have a rear suspension of a Volkswagen Beetle maybe, I don't know. It just bounces, it's not strong enough, and you keep hitting the bump stops. So you can't make any movement, which you need on sand, and then you get stuck again. That is a challenge. Good fun. Glad we did it. It's a once in a lifetime thing, although we will be back. Does that make sense? I could definitely recommend it. It's a really awesome experience. And then to come here and have all this luxury is really nice. A nice little contrast. Botswana is really fantastic in that. We picked up a guy yesterday on his way to Ghanzi, that's where we are at this moment. He was just going to go to an ATM, pull some money and then go back over hundreds of kilometers. That's how it happens here as well. So now we're going to push on to Maun. We're going to spend a couple of days there, maybe 3 days at the Island Safari Lodge. We'll see what that's like. It's about 300 kilometers from Ghanzi. An easy drive on the tar road compared to what we've been doing. a little bit of a contrast as well, which is quite nice, you know, just to see the differences and all that. So yeah, loving every minute of this. What an experience. Could definitely recommend it. Bring extra fuel, bring lots of water, and be prepared to just take it as it comes. And that's the kind of things that happen out here, and that's why we love it so much. So guys, as we pack up and have a very leisurely drive up to Maun, hopefully the wind isn't too bad, I want to say, yeah, thumbs up for me so far. Well, good morning from Island Safari Lodge. Here's the campsite. It's about 10 pitches, which is pretty cool. There are a whole lot of bungalows you can rent there. Nice little houses, got airco because it was really, really hot this year. It's also very dry. Normally that channel is full of water about 3 or 4 meters deep. Now there is nothing at all. We did manage to see a hippo yesterday morning, which was heading back along this way. Hope you can hear me with this wind. Back to the bridge where there's a little pool of water. But the rest of the place is just really, really dry, really, really hot. It's a nice little place, this Island Safari Lodge. This was put up in the 70s. It's lacking a little bit of maintenance here and there, but it has a nice charm to it. There's a really big pool here, right next to the campsite. There's a restaurant, there's a bar, there's another little pool there, which is quite nice. It's really quite pleasant. The staff are really good. And yeah, it's a nice place to spend a couple of days. Right-hand side, 4x4 recovery if needed.
Thank you.
Beef Boys. So apparently Beef Boys is the butcher of choice in Maun. On the left, a very big taxi and bus stop. Where? There? This is on an island. Hello! Around here. Yeah.
Like we're here. Wow, they've got boats as well.
Since we bailed out of the Kalahari, we've been here. We've done a bit of repair on the vehicle. The starter motor was hanging when you started it. Went to Bush Law in Maun. They fixed it within an hour. Really good service, really fantastic. I can recommend them definitely. Then we did a little helicopter flight, which was just out of this world. You have to, if you come here, do that just to experience the swamps, the delta, the Okavango from a different vantage point, and seeing the animals from above was just fantastic. Doors off, brilliant. Yesterday we had a cultural tour of Maun, which was really nice. Actually, they took you in a van, took you around all around Maun. You see basket weaving. You see how the car washes work as a central social point. You see their council places where they do their courts kind of thing. If something's gone wrong, cattle theft or something, they will sort you out there straight away. Went to the markets, a lot of informal people setting up their businesses, also because of COVID, which impacted the tourism business, which is the main form of income here in Maun. Yeah, they really battled a lot. So the government gives them a permit and they can do their own thing, and it's all very good. At least you can make an existence somehow. What we did learn is that Maun is quite the capital of the Okavango Delta. You can do anything here. Even get a game viewer, drive it to Moremi, spend the day there, which is also recommended. A nice way to do it. And yeah, it's been very hot, but thankfully the pool is there, cools you off rather nicely. The facilities are a bit run down, as I said, but they're clean, functional, and there's TP, just like at Manyani in Johannesburg. So there's that. A lot of shade for your camp, except there's no grass. Obviously, it's very, very dry this year. So yeah, oh, you also got power as well. You can plug it in and get some power, charge your cameras, which I'm filming this on. So now we're heading up to Third Bridge, Moremi, which should be about 5-hour drive, 130 k's. See if we can find some animals there. A lot of elephants about, we've heard. There was a leopard sighting yesterday, which is quite exciting for us. We want to see that. No hippos because it's very dry, so they've moved to where the water is, and we don't know where the water is. From Moremi we'll go up to Mbudi, Khwai concession, which is quite highly recommended. Then Savuti, obviously you have to go past there, and up towards Chobe, Safari Lodge in Kasane, which we're looking forward to. Yeah, so as we look at a massive termite mound, 3 meters tall. I don't know how they do it. Group effort. Yeah, that's about it for here. It's been really good. It's been relaxing. We can just chill a little bit after the Kalahari. It's a bit of a shame we had to bail out of there, but it was actually a prudent decision considering our fuel levels, and the going was seriously tough. Very tough. Very soft sand, and in the heat it becomes even more powdery and you get no grip at all. But yeah, that's what Botswana is about. The adventure, the unknown, the new.
Time
Well guys, good evening. Welcome to Moremi Third Bridge. What a fantastic day. What a lovely drive. This has got to be one of the best little roads you've ever been on. Nice and green, a bit of water around, even a sprinkling of rain. The temperature has dropped about 10 degrees, which is really agreeable. Made things a lot more cooler. We're surrounded by baboons, even in the trees above. These are the sausage trees. And these guys are living in there. Even in the water tower in the back there. Oh, here's a big guy. So I think he might be joining us for dinner. And I gotta say, I gotta recommend this place. It's fantastic here, man. This is just such a cool, green, lovely area to come through. There's the main gate. There's nobody here. We've got our bookings and all of that stuff. This is campsite number 5. And yeah, on the bookings it says campsite 5. Nobody's here to do that, to check us in. But that's okay. So let's take a quick walk down here because there's a fantastic sunset. As only in Africa. There's our tuck shop. There's the entrance to the Third Bridge campsite, which is pretty cool. And down there are some buildings for the staff normally. And in the background is why we're here. We saw a lot today, a lot of elephants, really close in the road, chewing grass, all of that stuff. Giraffes, zebras, impalas. I think there were Nyala, which we saw as well, and some looks like Setsubi. Fantastic sighting that. Some hippos. It's quite dry, but here, dry in Botswana, but here it's quite green, as you can see around. A lot of grass. The grass is not too high, so you can spot quite well, which is pretty cool. Warthogs, little things, zebras and all of that. Yeah, really nice drive. A couple of water pools to go through on the road, which are about half a meter deep maybe. Adds to a little bit of the drama. And yeah, I can say, guys, look at this. There's our campsite. Little fire going. Baboons in the trees above, which are joining us maybe. They were hanging out on the water tower before. Wow. All I can say is, come here if you can, man. Fantastic little place, this. Moremi, I think. I'm going to put on record here, even though we haven't gone further today, this week yet. It's probably better than Chobe. Tell me what you think down below. Nice quick steak on the fire, bilaka, a couple more beers, and just chill. And what a fantastic day. Buzzing, everyone's buzzing. Everyone's having a really good time. Today was just fantastic. Yeah. Don't know what else to say. Just besides that, this is such a beautiful area. Fantastic green, lots of trees. Lots of variety, a lot of bird life as well. A lot of, I think, sacred ibises, egrets. We saw some storks, a couple of eagles, a couple of vultures circling in the beginning, which we weren't sure if they were waiting for us to not make it or if they were watching a kill. It did smell something in the air. And yeah, the elephants were just fantastic. A lot of young elephants as well. The young elephants seemed more grumpy than the older ones. You tell me how that works. So far, a group of 4 vehicles here. It's been really good. 7 of us driving here. Yeah, basically I can recommend the Land Cruiser. It just has a stiffer rear suspension than the Hilux, which really slows you down in the slow stuff, but you get here in the end. And I think it's from the gate, it's about 46 kilometers from South Gate to here. It's going to take you about 5 hours. There, it's on record. Let me know what you guys have done down below. Well, good morning guys. Just left Third Bridge Camp. We're heading north towards Khwai along a tiny little track here with very long grass, as you can see in the background. Last night was quite interesting because we shared our camp with some very noisy neighbors in the form of baboons who were living in the trees above our campsite. And these guys just don't stop. They just carry on all night. I think the males need to assert their territory, so they make this really loud kind of sound just out of nowhere. And then there's an answering call from another tree, and then the little guys are like freaking out and jumping around, and then they just sit there in the branch and they take a pee right on top of you, which is also quite interesting. Never had that happen. A lot of hippo sounds as well, which is cool. I'm not sure if we could smell an elephant or just hear them eating some grass in the background. And I'm gonna guess about 500 meters away, a pride of lions were calling all night long, which was also very cool. So we had a lot of cacophony of sounds. It was just very loud all night long. You had little patches of about half an hour to an hour where you could catch some sleep, and then it would just kick off again. Very interesting. Lovely campsite though, the Third Bridge. Very wild, a lot of shade. No grass, obviously. It's a big open flat area of sand, as you do out here. The ablutions are very good. They've just been painted, brand new. When we arrived last night though, at about 10 to 6, there was nobody at the reception, so we just managed to find our campsite. And as we look at the little plover here hogging the road, yeah, we just found our campsite and off we went. The other thing that was really cool, which we didn't even know about, was that there was a lion in the camp last night. And we only heard about it this morning, and he was very close to where we were. And he walked right from the reception all the way down to, I think it's campsite number 10 or something like that. Which was like, wow. You know, right in the morning, you saw the paw prints on the ground, which was really cool. We didn't manage to see it, obviously. These guys do have the advantage out here in form of camouflage, and we make a lot more noise than them, and they can see at night, which is an advantage too. So yeah, we're heading towards Khwai now. It's quite a short drive, it's about 65 k's, so I'm guessing it'll take us about 5 hours or so. Lovely area here. The diversity in Moremi is really good. I'm amazed by the forest, the thick forest sections when you're coming through South Gate. Right here we have a lot of open savannas actually, and the grass is not too long that you can't see anything. But yeah, we're going to try. Yesterday we saw buffalo, which was cool. We saw a lot of elephants, as I said before. Giraffe, zebras, impalas. I don't know if it was nyalas. I'm not sure. With the really long snaking the horns going back over the head. Very cool. We were having a little view outside into the night at our car last night in the pitch blackness, and we looked down, and a meter away was a spotted hyena strolling through. It stopped, looked at us, and we looked at it. then it just looked away and kept on walking. But it was just appearing out of nowhere, which was just totally freaky, totally awesome. Never had something happen like that before. So yeah, unfenced camp, really nice. Yeah, last time we were here we didn't have any baboons. Now it's just covered in them, which is also part of the experience. And yeah, I can definitely recommend Moremi. I think it's one of the prettier game reserves. It's a lot greener out here. There's more water. The landscape's more diverse, and we see a lot of animals compared to Chobe.
Inside your head, they'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. They don't wanna see you make it, they don't wanna see you care. Every time I make some progress,
you have kitchens and you have kitchens. This is the latter. A dugout canoe, hippos over there. We saw elephants here earlier. Oh my word. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And it's our anniversary tomorrow. Honey and I have been married for 23 years. Wow. Wow.
Well guys, here we are in Khwai. You wonder where Khwai is. Khwai is the northeasternmost point of the Moremi Game Reserve, which is touching onto Chobe as well. A fantastic little place, and I can tell you we're in the Okavango Delta. And how do you know this? Come with me. This is how. A lot of very deep pools of water. It's been very dry this year, kind of a drought situation going on. But there was a couple of big thunderstorms coming through. And these deep pools, I'd say they're about 1/2 meter deep at least, fill up with water, and the water just sits there because it's kind of a clay underground here. And you're driving along nicely and you have to go through those. So the cars have had a tough time getting here. We came here from 3rd Bridge. We did finally cross 4th Bridge. We went through these back roads, a lot of pools, about 100 or more of water to go through. Very cool drive. The second way you understand that we are in the Okavango Delta is this. What a difference compared to Kalahari. Very dry in the Kalahari, very hot. It's pretty hot here now as well now. It's been a drought. Normally though, the temperature is about 30, 31, 32. We're hitting 40 degrees during the day, which is just hanging here. Yesterday we had a really nice thunder shower coming through, about an hour. Everyone got nice and soaked. We kept our fire going. We managed to get our dinner out. Today, a couple of drops, just cooled down a little bit. But even now as I stand here and it is nearly 6:30, it's still pretty warm. I would say it's above 27. This is such a magic place though. Our campsite is right on this big open area. I would call it marshland. There's our cabs. In the distance there's a little building. It looks like an ablution block. Just over there, hippos. And it was really nice to go out with a Mokoro Trip this morning. They took us out along this little channel here to about there, and then they stopped because the hippos were eyeing us out, and I thought, no, give them a bit of room. And we turned around and went all the way down past the Land Cruiser there, and all around the corner, elephant right in the water, which was really cool. Buffalo as well.
special. How amazing is this?
Nice to just glide along in silence. Water lilies, which is really cool. The water here is about 1 meter deep to 2 meters deep. Hippos disappear. We've got water buck here. There were a lot of elephants right here, just above, just past that water section there, grazing. And they grazed here about 12 elephants, and then they moved off slowly, and then hit the bush line, and they just disappear. Also, we heard this morning there was a lion kill. I want to say 200 meters that way. It took a water buck. The water buck was lying near an anthill. The lions were a little bit further out, just chilling, recovering from their job of making themselves some dinner. Really cool to see. The first lions we've seen on this trip, which is nice. Maybe tomorrow in Savuti, apparently on the marsh road, we might encounter a few more, which would be really nice to see. So far we've seen a lot of buffalo. Obviously the elephants are part of the big five. We've seen the lions now, so we're looking for some rhino and a leopard. It's going to be really difficult, but a fantastic contrast to come to here, Khwai area. I think it's kind of a community thing, although this camp in Mbudi is privately owned. A lot of this area around here is like a community trust idea where they try and promote tourism and get a little bit out of it for the community as well, which is quite nice. But hey, middle of a very dry area, got water, we've got the bulrushes, got the water lilies going, we've got our campsite going as well, campfire going as well, which is quite nice. And it's been really nice, very green out here, which is very unusual after the past few days of going non-stop through this hot, dry, dusty sand. So yeah, as we get our dinner ready, I think we'll have a nice little evening here around the campfire and then head off towards Savuti camp tomorrow. Apparently we should take the marsh road. That's where some lions were spotted. And when we get to Savuti, we'll have another look around there, and hopefully it'll be a little bit cooler because the heat here is just, wow, next level.
Wow. The rain's down in Africa.
Well guys, welcome to Mbudi Gate, Chobe National Park. This is the southern entry point. We've been told there were some lions here somewhere near the 4th kilometer down to the right hand side, which is normally the marsh road instead of the Sandridge road. So we're going to loop around that side, see how far we can get and see some lions and hopefully even cheetahs, which is pretty cool. It's going to be a very busy evening. We've got 4 cars just come through, another 4 passed through before that. Plus us, yeah, it'll be a busy campsite in Savuti because basically there's nothing else except Savuti to go and camp at. So far, the best campsite has been at Khwai, I would say. It's lovely and green. There's water there. As you saw, there's a bit of a show of elephants. Hippos, you hear the whole night just laughing. The hyenas came through as well. The little kill that was there disappeared this morning. The lions had also moved on. We did see lion tracks through the camp, which was quite nice. We didn't even hear them though. And yeah, let's see if we can find something in Chobe. Very different area. I think this is what they call Mopani forest. Sand is quite a little bit damp, which makes for better, harder driving, which is okay. If it's really hot and dry, you just sink right through, as we saw in the Kalahari, which was quite a challenge. So yeah, Chobe National Park. Iconic, I would guess. I mean, from the TV series on, I think it's BBC, where they were following the marsh pride and the leopards and all of that. Really cool just to be here and just to see the different parts of Botswana, because Botswana really is very diverse. It's a flat land. You think there's nothing there, just a desert, but there's a lot more going on here than you might think. So let's go and see what we can find. Well guys, welcome to Chobe. This is the Marsh Road, I think, yeah, instead of the Sandridge Road. Very, very dry out here, very hot. The sun is baking down. The animals have decided to get some shelter because they're far smarter than we are. What we did manage to see was a couple of cheetahs, which is number 1 on my bucket list of any animal. Very nice condition. I think there were 2 males maybe. They're quite well rounded, which was nice. Which was perfect just to see them right next to the road. We just stayed there for a few minutes and watched them, and it was just chill hanging out. What we did see in the beginning of the park, which I'm just going to go out ahead and say it, was some other vehicles coming through, like I told you when we're at the gate. Groups of 4 cars. I don't know if I should say where they come from, but the way they acted around the animals was just unacceptable. There are park rules and they tell you to stay on the road at all times. The only people who go off-road are the game guides and the game viewers. That's it. So if you come out here and you start driving off the piste, going all over and harassing the animals even, that's no go. I'm sorry, that's not the way it's done here. If you think that's acceptable, then you don't belong in this place and you don't have any respect for the nature around you. And also you're gonna, I nearly swore there, but you're gonna blow it for everybody else, because they're going to close down the parks, close down everything, so you can't even get here at all because you don't respect a simple little rule like staying on the road. So there it is, there's that. But beyond that, not many elephants this year. Last time we were here we saw hundreds. Now we've seen maybe, what, half a dozen. We did see a little giraffe on the way in, which was really cool. It was nice. A lot of zebra here, which reminded me of the fact that the zebra is actually Botswana's national anthem animal, which is pretty cool. They were pretty chilled as well. There was apparently a lion kill somewhere down there. We were trying to look for the lions, didn't see the lions. Obviously they're smarter than we are. Up here near the marsh is also the marsh pride, probably, and we're going to try and see if we can still see them, but in this heat, and I'll tell you what, it's quite densely growth here, as you can see. I don't think we're going to find them, but what a lovely little road to travel down. Really nice. It's baking hot. It says 38 on the temperature. Heat wave time, actually. This is way hotter than it should be at this time of year normally, which is March. But it's lovely just coming down through this little road in the middle of nowhere. Really remote, really isolated, really lekker. Yeah, as I said, I'll probably be busy in camp, so I'm just enjoying the moment now while there's nobody else around. So yeah, Chobe, very different from Moremi, very different from the Kalahari. Yeah, so Botswana's got so much to offer, and we're not even at the top of our loop yet. So yeah, let's see what else we can find. I think you can tell how hot it is now. It's about 43, 44. It's 4:30. It's still really hot. The heat is just sitting here. It's on this soft sand, which is really reflecting all the heat as well. And here's our camp for tonight. This is Savuti camp, CB4, which is right on the channel, which is supposed to have water in it. I don't know if it's had water in it ever, or at least for the last 10 years. It's been really dry. I don't know how stuff survives around here. Coming from Moremi, it was really nice and green. It was a very different vibe as well. It cooled down a bit at night as well. We had a thunder shower come through, and at night it was pitch black because it's a new moon now. We didn't see many stars because there's a bit of haze hanging over the sky. We did see a lot of fireflies, man. When last have you seen a firefly? Just glowing, really cool. And then you got the hippos laughing in the background, which is just fantastic. And water buck splashing coming through at night. Obviously we saw the lion spoor coming through. Really nice place. And then you come here and you think, wow, it's so hot, it's so dry. How can this be better than Moremi? It's different, that's the thing. There are a lot more people here, as I said before. I think that's the third time we've mentioned that. Every single campsite seems to be full with at least 4 or 5 cars and a lot of action going on. It feels like you're back in the civilized world after being kind of isolated for quite a while, which is also the appeal of the Kalahari, because there are only a few camps, especially down south. On the Deception Pan, Piper Pan, I suppose there's a lot more going on because they're more accessible from the gate. But if you travel up through Bape, Xaxa, you're getting quite remote and there's not much there, and there's only 1 or 2 campsites that you can book before you're allowed into the camp, into the park. That was really special. And that's what Botswana gives you as well, this diversity, which you think at first glance it isn't there, but there's a lot of different stuff going on. Some forests with big trees, you got the savannas, you got your mopani bush, and you got your soft sand, you got the clay. Going into Khwai, it's quite a road. A lot of these, about 100 water pools to traverse, which was quite nice. Bit of an extra challenge, I suppose. I'm really digging it out here, man. It's so relaxed. Africa really gets under your skin, slowly but surely. Before you know it, you want to come back again, even though we're only halfway through our trip. And yeah, I'm looking forward to Savuti, to Chobe tomorrow, I've got to say. Mainly for a shower, and there's a pool to cool off, because it's been really hot. This heat wave has really taken its toll on quite a few of us, which is part of the fun as well. So yeah, as we have a quick celebratory local beverage that we've arrived at our campsite, I'm trying to sit here in the shade to try and stay out of the sun until it cools down a little bit more. I've got to say that Botswana always delivers. It's fantastic, it's remote, it's so different every place you go to. You need to spend a little bit of time here. Don't just hop around and come here for 1 week as we did last time. Although that was fun too, and that's why we're back for a second time. So yeah, let's see what tonight brings. Morning guys, morning from Savuti camp in Chobe once again. Very different experience to Khwai, which we had yesterday. Obviously, it's dry as anything here. In fact, it's so dry, even the ablution block, the toilets, showers, there's no water, which was, yeah, it happens around here. Luckily, all of us were able to get a shower in last night, all of that stuff. It's quite a small little ablution block, I've got to say, for the size of the number of pitches we've got around here, which is a bit strange. But it is what it is. It's part of the African experience. Last night was really rather special. We saw the whole Milky Way across the sky, really dark. It was new moon, absolutely pitch black. I don't know if you've experienced what absolute silence is, or if you've ever been in a sensory deprivation tank. Last night was something like that. Absolute silence, no sounds at all from the birds, nothing going on around us. Just absolutely pitch black and absolute quiet. Fantastic experience, gotta say. Yeah, Savuti camp. It's the only camp really that you can come and stay at in the Chobe National Park, unless you're with a private tour operator, of course. There are a couple of safari tents over there. There's a pretty good gate there. There's a tuck shop which you can get some cold beers at, and a little curio shop. So it's quite a lot more touristy than we were used to. We've been camping like solo, just our little group, for quite a while now. And now to come into this, it's quite a shock. Imagine what Chobe Safari Lodge is going to be like. Anyway, look at this place. Fantastic area. Quite a lot of open areas, like dry, open savannas. You got the trees in the background. That's patchy. We went to the Bape forest yesterday as well, which was quite nice. Couple of, I think about 10 or 12 old baobab trees. And when I'm talking about old, I'm talking about 1,000 years old. Almost as old as Vic over there. So yeah, man. Also, we try to have a look at Quarry Hill, but these are rental cars. I'm not going to tear the back bumper off that, just for a quick view of the hill. And then we went to Harvey's Pans. Yeah, that was quite an open area as well. A little bit of water there. A couple of nice, really big, massive buffalo sightings there, which was really nice. So yeah, now we're going to head up to Goa Gate, and then that little cut line along the Chobe Forest Reserve. Chobe Forest Reserve, which is kind of like a sand forest, as we mentioned previously in a different video. And then up to Kasane. And probably we'll carry on and follow the river this time instead of taking the main road back to Kasane as well, which is going to add another couple of hours to our journey, but totally worth it. So yeah, Savuti camp, it's a different experience. It's very dry, very hot out here. At least it cooled down a lot during the night, and now it's quite nice and very good to drink a cup of tea and watch how the morning develops around us. Here's our chauffeur of the day, Vic.
Hi, lovelies.
Cruising through the Chobe National Park on the way to Goa Gate on a nice, balmy, I don't even know what day it is, but it's somewhere in the morning. And yeah, actually a very pleasant place to stay. As I said before, the whole camp needs a little bit of refurbishment maybe, but that's also the African way in some ways. Just if it works, leave it, and yeah, we'll carry on like it is. Very busy, a lot of campsites there, a lot of people. We were, this is actually kind of the low season, but there's still, I think the whole camp was fully booked. As we get to a crossing, and this is probably the proper road to, we can go a bit faster now, eh?
No, we do height, it's 35.
But we can't because we're on a game drive after all, and that's what we forget sometimes, right? We're also here to look at the animals. We saw a lovely leopard this morning, which was just fantastic. It just slunk across the road and stopped and had a look at us and didn't really worry about it, which was really nice. It wasn't scared at all, and then about 10 meters into the bush, it just disappears. So it's really difficult to spot game out here. Obviously, you can see it's a lot of green, a lot of tall grass, a lot of new growth as well, which looks like a managed forest, like pine trees or something that they grow for paper and stuff. But out here, it's done by the elephants, so I think the elephants get a cut out of the new forest management or something. But they are good for that, and hippos as well. Hippos maintain the waterways, which we didn't know, which keeps the delta open and flowing, and it's good for the ecosystem. So yeah, as we make our way north to Kasane, I'm going to say Chobe's pretty good. It's a very different experience to Moremi. It's very open on down south near Bape Gate. There's a huge savanna. If you take the marsh road, it just stretches all the way to the horizon. Nothing there. The animals obviously were much smarter than we were. As I've said before as well, they take a siesta during the heat of the day while we're trying to cruise to get to our camp. And it's slow going. The sand is really very soft. It's kind of like very soft beach sand. And when it gets really hot during the day, it gets even softer. It's got talcum powder, and it just offers no traction at all. So you're going to have to do about 10 or 15 kilometers an hour, especially if you have a Toyota Hilux, because it doesn't have any rear suspension, and it just bounces and bottoms out if you don't ease off your speed. So it's very slow going sometimes, depending on road conditions. The Land Cruisers are much more stiff, but they don't do washboards very well, so it's kind of a up and down option. And the other side of it is your budget. We see a lot of the Hiluxes around as well. I think about a dozen different vehicle rental agencies that we've seen, which is unbelievable. The market is huge. I think it's probably getting bigger. They had a really tough time during COVID, which basically decimated their industry, because Botswana's main industry is diamond mining, which makes it quite a very well established country. I think they've got a good infrastructure. It's very safe around here, and for a small amount of population, they've actually done really well for themselves. The other side is the tourism. Tourism is their second biggest economic growth engine, I would say. So with COVID, nobody was allowed to travel. A lot of the locals around Maun, Kasane especially, they really had it tough because there were no tourists allowed to come for a year or maybe two. So it's picked up a lot now, which is good for them. Happy to hear that they are back and established again. So yeah, Botswana, very fascinating country. We did a cultural tour in Maun as well, which was very interesting. It showed us a little bit of how things go there. They're very proud of their appearance. They do a lot of work to clean their shoes, which is quite something.
Especially in this dust.
Especially with all this dust around, I suppose. And their cars. A lot of car washes, which was also actually like set up from the COVID era, because a lot of people started their own business, and the car washes have grown into like the social point in Maun, in any village, I suppose. And what they do there is they go and park their car, have a car wash, but at the car wash there's a tuck shop. You can get something to eat, you can have a haircut, you can shine your shoes, And there's even a pool table outside in the dust under a tree where you can play some pool, which is really nice. And you can catch up with all the daily things that are going on in town. So yeah, very good that. And then we had some basket weaving. We tried to do that. Obviously we were no good. These guys are very, very clever how they do all the weaving and stuff. It was quite interesting, and they do a lot of the help for the young ladies in particular, to help them get some work, help them get some training, a bit of education, a bit of support as well, which is very nice. And in that way the tourism industry helps everyone on every level. The other one was the markets. There's a lot of market stalls out there which are kind of informal. The government gives you a permit, but they don't really pay taxes as such, as far as I understood it. So it's kind of legal, but it's informal, if that makes sense. If I'm wrong, correct me down below as well. And after that we had a little lunch as well, which is quite nice. A bit of pap, which was good, which is kind of like a maize meal, a stiff porridge, and they had some meat, I think it was chicken, and a bit of gravy and some pumpkin. And that's basically just a little taster of what they would normally eat. And what they also do is roast or boil their corn, little corn kernels, and then they dry that out, and that becomes like a snack that you can take on the road, like as if it was a bag of peanuts or something, which is also quite cool. Because I think agriculture around here is quite difficult. It's very dry around here. There's another drought this year which has been really tough on everyone. Water is a big thing, especially not only for the animals but also in the villages. As I said already, the ablution block at Chobe, at Savuti camp, was totally devoid of any water this morning, so it made for an interesting session, I would think. So yeah, there's a hillside. We've got a little bit of elevation. Botswana is really flat. I don't know if you know this already, but if you've lived in Holland, it's the flattest country on the planet apparently, but I think Botswana trumps that because it's 10 times bigger. So to see a hill out here is actually quite something special in some ways. Man, yeah, this sand, this perpetual sand, that's unbelievable. That's why the Okavango is so special, because most of the country is this kind of dry, arid, semi-desert conditions, and then you have the Okavango Delta. So yeah, actually I would think Botswana is maybe not even that much on the map internationally, or as well known as Kenya, for example, or Namibia as a safari destination. But it actually offers a whole lot of everything in one in some ways, which is quite cool. It's very accessible. Here is the hillside.
This is the zen of driving. It's so cool.
Okay, action. Is the camera rolling? Good morning, guys. Morning from Kasane. We made it to the top of Botswana. I can't believe how many kilometers we've done. It's been a really long, epic drive through a lot of dry sand. Yesterday as well, leaving Chobe through the Goa gate, and then you go up through the Chobe forest, sand forest. Dry, hot, very soft sand, slow going, bouncy, the African massage, all of that stuff. And we came up to Ngoma Gate, which is right near the border of Namibia. You can cut across in there. And then along the Chobe River, we followed the river front, which we haven't done before, which is a beautiful drive because you come right down to the water's edge. We saw a huge amount of buffalo, which was really cool. They're really angry looking animals, don't piss them off. We got giraffes, we got elephants, we had hippos, a lot of elephants, amazing. And a lot of young ones as well, very like newborn babies, which is so cool. The elephants were really chilled as well. Then we got to our place, which is Chobe Safari Lodge, and I can't recommend it enough. It's just fantastic. The old lodge where you used to come in at the riverfront is being renovated, so they're using the Chobe Bush Lodge as their check-in point, which is maybe even more luxe compared to what we've been doing on the campsites, where you have nothing at all and you have to be totally self-sufficient. Lovely entrance to the place, lovely reception. The staff there, all of them, are just fantastic. Really friendly, always smiling, always have a little word here and there, and it's just a really nice place to be. There's a grill there now, a restaurant, which is kind of a buffet, which is really well done. The food was actually very, very good. Fantastic. Really nice to have that as dinner last night. That was an anniversary present for me and Vic from our mates Rob, Diana and Naomi. Thank you very much for that. It's fantastic. And now we're going through Kasane at the moment. Kasane is obviously the equivalent of Maun, but right at the top near the Chobe River. I'm going to say it has more charm than Maun, basically because of the river. It's very green out here, a lot more so than elsewhere. They are missing a lot of rain though. It's very touristy, obviously, a lot of curios for sale, all of that stuff, but that's to be expected. This is their main livelihood. We're going to spend a couple of days here, go to Victoria Falls. We're going to try and catch a quick sundown cruise this afternoon, which is always a really good option when you're out here, being on the water, especially coming from the Kalahari. And that's another thing, and I've said it again, I've said it 15 times, Botswana is just a fantastic place to visit. It's got so much different areas, environments, climates even, which you don't expect first. You think it's just one big dust bowl. There's a lot more to it than that, and I just totally love being here. And the vibe as well, for me, having grown up in South Africa, is way more chilled here. I think you feel more relaxed, you feel more safe in a way. In South Africa, you always check in the corners, always. Here you can chill a little bit more. Don't take my word for that. Anything can happen, but on the whole, I think it's a lot more of a safe country and a lot more chilled with that. And the people are just fantastic. So yeah, this has been a good couple of weeks so far, which has been nice. This time we've done it properly. We've seen a whole lot, and we're still trying to digest most of it. And we still have a lot to come. So yeah, welcome to Kasane as we look for some firewood for the evening. Trying to get a little bargain for a 20 puller a bundle. It's a lot more than it used to be before Maun, which was 10 puller. But hey, we're supporting the locals. That's the other way to look at it. These guys make their living out of us, and we need to reciprocate and give them happy money. Here's your money. Thanks for being here.
Bless you and your family.
Bless you and your family. See, I'm being given a cue card here. Howdy campers, welcome to Victoria Falls National Park. Yeah.
It's only been 55 years.
55 years in the making, we finally made it here. We can hear them in the background. Excuse the helicopters, there's just hundreds of flights going around every day. But you can hear the rush. I think it's called the smoke that thunders. Yeah, quite keen to see how big this is.
So excited to be here. So excited.
His chin is in trouble.
Well, well, Dr. Livingston, I presume.
bounce. With little bounce. With shallow. Walk. Yes, crocodile swimming in the distance. And these animals don't cross anywhere. They have certain points where they cross. This is one of the crossing areas.
Ils sont pas rassurés, les éléphants.
Catch up with their real color. Any other color you see, different colors on elephants, they come out in any type of mark.
Ja, dit is uniek.
Dit is een beetje groot, dat is de kinderen aangesloten. Dan moet wel een beetje. Dit is echt mooi.
Remember, they are boys.
Morning guys, morning from the Sadudu bar at Chobe Safari Lodge. I can't recommend this place enough. It's just fantastic, the whole thing. From the moment you get booked in, you are arriving at the main reception area, and if you've been here before, you'll know the Chobe Safari Lodge is on the river, but the whole area has been cordoned off. It's up for renovation. That whole restaurant, pool, reception area is being totally revamped. So they've taken the whole roof off that huge structure, that amazing construction, and they're redoing everything. And that means you have to go across the road to check in at the Chobe Bush Lodge, which is maybe even more, I don't know, pretty impressive when you walk in there. Nice open, huge roofs, very friendly staff. You get there, you get a little face cloth just to get the dust out of your eyes. From a long drive out of Chobe, you get a little welcome drink, and they're really friendly and open. And next door is the campsite, obviously, as you may know if you've been here. The campsite's quite cool. There's no grass out here. It's all dust. So you're going to have black toes and feet. Not a big deal. Some of the campsite's quite big. We've got campsite number 5, which I think could fit about 5 cars. The previous one we had was tiny. It was like a little matchbox. So it depends on how big your group is and where you're going to be parking your van. The ablution blocks are very cool. It's all changed here now with the new open restaurant here, the grill, which is kind of a buffet dining under a stretch tent. Lovely service, very cool. It's a lovely experience to do. Next door, those ablution blocks have been turned into the restrooms for the restaurant. And behind the camping there's a new little section of ablution blocks as well, which is very nice, nicely done. A lot of the places we've been staying at are quite rustic and basic, and this is quite nice to have a little bit of a change. So yesterday we went to the Big Falls, which was a huge, big bucket list moment. It was fantastic. It is enormous. You won't believe how big it is until you go there. It is literally, my stats aren't correct, if my stats aren't wrong, 1.7 kilometers long, and the highest point is at 100 meters that the water falls down. This time of year it's very dry. As I've said before in other sections, there's a big drought going on here. They're supposed to have rain, and this is the end of the rain season, and they haven't had any rain. So it's going to be a very challenging year for the animals and for everyone who lives here as well. It's very dry, and you can see that in the Victoria Falls as well. I think it's Chobe, or becomes the Zambezi, and then becomes the Victoria Falls. Apparently it's quite shrunken down. There's not as much water. But you wouldn't know it if you stood there and see all this water come over the edge, because it's just unbelievable. The amount of water, you can't fathom it. What it does do when it comes over with quite a lot of force is plume up into these huge mists, and at times you can't even see anything, and at other times you get totally drenched by this really fine spray, which is rather nice because it was blistering hot as well. It's quite touristy. You have to pay entrance at the park. What we did is took a shuttle from the lodge here. They take you to the border. Botswana side's all very easy. You basically stamp your passport and wave you on. Zimbabwe side's a little more involved. If you're an international tourist, you need to pay, I think, $30 entry into Zimbabwe. The SADC countries, it's free, which is quite cool for us. And then you head off into Zimbabwe in a little bus, which took about an hour to get to the Big Falls. There you have to pay entrance to the Vic Falls National Park, which is $30 for SADC and $50 for international visitors. I would say it's worth it. It is a bit of a drive. It's very hot. It costs you a bit of money, but it's what an experience. It's like a tropical jungle out there. That fine mist just keeps the palm trees green. It's a huge belt of green just going on there, which is fantastic. And it's just lovely to see the amount of water that is going over the edge non-stop, consistently. And it's not like somebody's opened the tap. This is not a man-made thing. It's all nature. What we all saw there as well was Livingstone, the statue of Livingstone. He was the first European person to set eyes on the big falls back in 1855, and he named it after the Queen at the time, which was Queen Victoria. There's also a local name for it, which arguably they should be using, but they've kept Victoria Falls, they've kept Livingston. I don't know, let's see how that pans out, but what the ideas around that are, let me know in the comments below how you feel about it. I think it's cool. The guys came here, they explored, they found stuff, and they put it on the map. Now we can all be here and enjoy it, and while we're here enjoying it, we're contributing at least to the economy, to the livelihoods of all the people who work here, which is just fantastic. Really good experience. From there we took a walk into Zambia, and that nearly killed us, and I'll tell you why. At the border post of Zimbabwe you get a little white piece of paper which they stamp, and they tell you you can walk across and you can come back, and with that piece of paper you can come back into Zimbabwe, because as soon as you leave the border post you're in no man's land. And there are a lot of people walking around there, a lot of hawkers trying to pawn their stuff on you, trying to sell you the $1 billion ZIM notes, a lot of truckers and all of that stuff. It looks pretty shabby, and you walk quite a far away, probably 1.5 kilometers until you get to the bridge, which is a little steel construction, one little road lane and a railway track. And in the middle of the bridge there's a bungee. You can bungee jump there as well. I think it's quite high. I'm going to guess 60-70 meters, correct me if I'm wrong. And there is also a little sign which says you are now entering Zambia. So we put one foot into Zambia, which was really cool. Bucket list thing, maybe. Weird little side note, cool, but a cool little side quest anyway. And what nearly killed us was the heat, and the heat coming through the road, and we were wearing our flip-flops, and you could just feel the heat aggressively coming down, and we nearly died, I think. Luckily there was somebody there, a little side shebeen selling a bottle of beer, so the beer saved our lives. Yep. So yeah, Chobe's Foreign Lodge, brilliant. You can do everything here. If you actually come here, spend a whole week here, and just go and do your daily trips. Do a trip along the Chobe riverfront, safari, do a boat ride, sunset cruise, which is really nice. Come here, have a sundowner, go to the big falls. You can go tiger fishing, which we didn't get to do this time, so we'll have to come back. There's no choice. You can do river cruises, little private boats. You can go exploring in town, do a cultural tour if you like. You can take a safari game viewer into the Chobe, which is literally next door, and spend a whole day or a half day and go and do that. You can hop the border if you like. Bit of fun, bit of an adventure. It's just a fantastic place to be, and this lodge itself is just brilliant. And to come here as a campsite guest and have access to everything is just next level. So I can't recommend it enough, as I've said. I'm quite curious to see what it would be like next year when the safari lodge itself has been done, because the bush lodge is not on the river's edge, and that does make it a little bit more charming, a little more energy for me. We also did a sunset cruise on one of those boats. Yeah, it's very touristy, but it's very nice actually to see the animals from the river instead of viewing the river from the road. There's quite a lot of animal life out here, a lot of buffaloes, a lot of hippos which you see grazing out during the daytime, which is unusual for them. And we were told that's because the competition for the greenery, for the, let's say, food, the nourishment if you like, is so big between the elephants and the buffaloes that the hippos need to do it, because if they only come out at night there's probably nothing left. So quite interesting to see a lot of those on the land. A lot of elephants, mega amount of elephants. As a hippo, a crocodile just relaxedly floats by right here, which is cool. Elephants also, it was nice to see them swimming through from the island onto the mainland, which was really very unique to see, which we've never seen before. Very nice experience. guys, welcome to Banda Matenga. We're about halfway down towards Elephant Sands, a little bit less than that. This is the Hunter's Road, which is actually like a little track that follows the fence line of Zimbabwe and Botswana, although there is no real fence to be seen as we look across into Zimbabwe. So this track is kind of very remote. It's not really on the map. It doesn't get used much. It might be, yeah, for the old hunters who knows poachers or something, it might be a patrol road now. If it just come to me from the border patrol, use this road just to come and check for anything that's untoward, maybe. Yeah, really interesting. Very remote. Not a track you would actually take normally, but a nice little option if you're coming down from Kasane towards Nata. Instead of staying on the highway, come down this little road, just check it out and see where it goes. Why not? As we hit a donga. What's a donga, dude? Yeah, well, a donga is a little washout which is caused by erosion, rain normally, unseasonal rain, I should think. Yeah, so we've traversed our donga now and off we go further south. So, quite interesting. You know, if you go off the beaten track, this is off the beaten track. You can see on our GPS, I don't know if you can see that, that grey line right next to us is the border fence, but there's nothing there. So we can continue or we can pop out and try and find the elephants. Let's try and find the elephants. Although we can't pop out because there's no road to the right.
Seed net.
Yeah, seed net might be an idea. Oh, let's make that turn around. So you can see how overgrown it is. Doesn't get used much. And it goes all the way down.
That was supposed to be a road.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a road. Yeah, cool. Welcome to the Hunter's Road. Something different in Botswana. Everywhere we've been in Botswana has been different, which has been just amazing. All the areas are different. The ecology is different. The wildlife is a little bit different. The air is different. Fantastic. Botswana rules, man.
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
So this road looks, at this section anyway, pretty well doable compared to the stuff we came through the Kalahari in, which was just unbelievably tough. Here's our donga again. Yeah, it doesn't get used much. It's not really on the map, I guess. So now you know. If you're looking for a little bit more interest, something different in your 4x4, just to come down and have a look. This is it, man. Also quite interesting is that we saw in, I think it was the Vic Falls, there's a map of the KAZA region or something, which is basically Namibia, Botswana, Angola, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and maybe Mozambique as well, opening their borders to one big wildlife park as such, or a conservation area, which is very encouraging. Hundreds of thousands of square kilometers are devoted to just wildlife, which is unusual in these times, I guess, when people are just chasing animals away and rebuilding the area for agriculture. This is a positive sign. And if you wonder if tourism is eco-conscious, I think we are contributing towards that. So in that way, I'm going to say it's a good thing, because these people would probably not do this otherwise if it wasn't for the income and the revenue that they receive from people like us who come here and support their efforts to try and keep the wildlife going. Because once it's gone, guys, as we know, ask the dodo, it's gone. Ish, can you see? Wow, okay. Well, morning guys. Welcome to Elephant Sands Lodge, which is just fantastic. We spent the night last night in our roof tents here, which was just really cool. We had some dinner here at the buffet, which is really rather nice. Very good deal, especially when you come from Kasane. There's a checkpoint right before you get to the turn off to here, and they take everything off you, all your meat and your dairy. So yeah, you're left with nothing, and you kind of have to do that, but it's a really nice experience. The staff here are fantastic, very friendly, very nice to just chat and hang out. There's a lovely bar here. I don't know if you can see that properly. The light's a bit bad. This is the only place I can find without a lot of wind. There's a nice pool area down there, if it will focus for us, where you can just hang out and watch the elephants right there at the waterhole, which is really cool. And last night there were about, I'm going to say 20 elephants milling around, mostly males actually, and we were trying to figure out how old they were, because when we were in Kasane along the Chobe, we saw a lot of herds there. There were matriarch herds with a lot of little young elephants, maybe half a meter high, all of that, very young elephants, which was cool. And these guys are the males, so I think they come from all over the place, from all directions, come here for the water, hang out a bit. It's very good to see the body language of the elephants as well. There's a lot of pushing and shoving, and every now and again you hear this like high-pitched scream of the elephant when they get pushed out the way. It's all open, unfenced. There's a lot of safari tents which you can have. If you've been here before, they've fixed the old ablution block, the toilets and the showers. Last time we had to go to the other one because this was destroyed by the elephants, but now they've refurbished that, which is all cool. It was really nice. Out the back here there's an elephant called Benny, and he was kind of an orphan, which was raised by one of the local guys here, and you could feed them, touch them, because they were watering a hose pipe into the trunk, and he was drinking like that, which was really cool. Really nice to see. If you like elephants, yeah, come here. It's can be busy. We had a couple of these big safari trucks come through with big groups, which is part of the deal as well. This is part of what makes this possible. As I've said before, tourism may not seem eco, but in the long run it is, because Botswana is one big, giant, open national park in a way. And we are contributing to keeping that open for the wild animals, instead of just building everything closed and taking over all the natural environments. So I would think, yeah, come to the Elephant Sand, spend a night here. It's really nice just to sleep in the open, sleeping with the elephants in effect. The water hole is open till about 10, 11, I think. Then I think the lights go off around the bar area. You can sit down there. Don't know if you can see right there, there's a little open area with a fire pit, and the elephants are literally about a meter away from you, which is really rather cool. Yeah, I think it's good value as well. It's a good option. Also, if you're heading south from Kasane, which was a very different change as well from Chobe Safari Lodge, which was very green. A lot of water there. Out here it's very dry again, very dry. The drive here is very easy though. You can go along the tarmac, a couple of hours and you're here. From here we're going to head down towards Nxai, which is part of the north of Quetta, part of the Makgadigadi kind of Salt Pan area, and from there we'll head down to Kubu Island if we can reach it, depending on the rainfall. Although this year has been a really dry year. The rainfall season is over and they've hardly had any rain, so it should be quite dry. And from there we'll head down to Khama Rhino Sanctuary to tick off our number 5 of the big 5, because we've seen all 4. That leopard was just fantastic, although my best sighting so far has been the cheetahs. Yeah, loving Botswana. It's a fantastic place. People are friendly, everything works, it's all clean. This is how a country in Africa, which has a bad reputation, Africa in general, as a country, if you're an African country, you don't have a good reputation, but here it seems to work. It's a lesson to be learned there. Small population, making it work. There's an economy here that's safe. People are happy and they have work and all of that. So yeah, think about it. And this is coming from an SA, a South African citizen, so I know what I'm talking about. There you go. come and hang at the bar. Come to Elephant Sands, chill out with the elephants. This morning they've all left. I think they turned the water off. I think there's a borehole. Turn the water off, and then the elephants head off into the night to go and graze or something, and later on this afternoon they might come back and try and find some water again, and you can hang it out again with the elephants. Really cool. Let's see what we can find in Nxai. Maybe our last chance to find some lions. Okay, what's all the fuss about? Then you spend a night in the campsite, which is totally open, and it's actually on the elephant route. So at night, the elephants come breezing past your car. It's pitch black. You can't see, you can't hear anything, and you just hear a little crack of a leaf or something, and then this huge animal comes past. It's incredible. Even last night, we were cooking our dinner on the fire, and this elephant just totally randomly.
They appear out of nowhere. Just like, what?
And it was like, what? Like, just breezed past like nothing was wrong and carried on walking. And we're like, wow. nice, thanks elephant sounds. Always good fun, I must say. The first time we were there, we were like blown away by how it was. And now 5 years later, it's been improved a little bit. And we learned that it's 4th generation already. It's been around since the 50s or the 60s, which is just fantastic. It seems to be a private enterprise that's got this little campsite going, and they just pull elephants from everywhere, and you can just look and study the elephants, nice and chilled. The elephants don't really care where you are. You can park anywhere, you can camp anywhere, and the elephants will just walk around you. This time they didn't come looking for water at night, which was quite unusual. Basically they drank from the water hole near the restaurant, and then they walked off and disappeared, and this morning there were only 2 or 3 elephants that left at the water hole. So yeah, maybe they get used to it, maybe it's yeah, habit that they kind of get. But it's very interesting just to be there and have all these open, free roaming elephants come and visit you, hang out with you, and there's no reason to be afraid of any elephants or have any fear of it, because you can just tell they're very relaxed. Yeah, I would recommend it definitely. Now we're in Nata, which is, yeah, look on the map. It doesn't help you much, I'm sure. But we have to go and get some more supplies because we're going to be off grid for another 3 days now. Yeah, habitude. Yeah, we're going to check out the Salt Pans. So, yeah, hopefully we might see some lions. Might be our last chance, right? So there we go. Let's find a Choppies and a nice Choppies supermarket. Not a Choppy. And hey?
Or a choppy as well.
And we need to find some Choppies at the butcher. If that doesn't make sense to you, don't worry. We'll figure it out somehow. Let's see what Nata has to offer. Morning, guys. Morning from Pan, somewhere north of Makgadigadi. What a fantastic little place. When you first get here, there is nothing. Anything what's so special about this little piece of ground, which is quite a small little natural reserve, a national park, independent one, I think. And you look around and it's dry and there's salt pans and there's not much in the way of vegetation even. And you drive through this very soft, dusty sand road and you think, okay, what's all the fuss about? And then in the morning you come to a little waterhole. You think, what's the big deal with a waterhole? We've all been to waterholes and there's been nothing there. Well, let's flip the camera.
An ostrich, jackal, elephant. We saw buffalo come in, wildebeest, zebras, giraffe.
I mean, what a shot. This is like the African postcard. Stunning. Just brilliant. There was a buffalo that came in, a solo one, came running in. Everyone moved out of its way and it just stuck its head in the water for about 7-8 minutes and it just drank and drank and drank and then it got up and walked off again. Now it's gone. Really random, but lovely to see this little springbok. Very dainty little things. Just ding ding ding, and then this giraffe, that's the second one that's come round. The first one has already come and drank and moved off again. The elephant's been here drinking for quite a while now. I think he's going to drain the whole hole. The wildebeest are playing around, jumping around, which is really cool. And from the right hand side there, you can see all the animals coming from that direction, which is kind of a game path, I guess. I'd love to see a little ostrich and the little jackals hanging around everyone.
There are 3 jackals.
Yeah, maybe even more.
Yeah.
What an awesome little place. So yeah, come. Focuses again. So yeah, come to the salt pans,
Yeah.
come and hang out, check out how flat it is, and then look at this. I mean, there's been a lot of game, the biggest concentration of game we've had so far in 3 weeks now.
Absolutely stunning.
So, don't know where they're off to, but
There's a plane kicking up some dust.
Well, morning campers. As the lens is full of dust. Well, morning guys. Morning from Kubu Island. Wow, spectacular. We came here from Nxai yesterday. Nxai was fantastic, which I think I've said it before. It's very unexpected. It's a small little park. There's not many people around. Quite a few animals. Very big water hole, which they use borehole water to keep filled, so the animals keep coming, which is cool. And it's really nice that they're helping the animals find water, even in this drought. The camp we were at was South Camp. We stayed at pitch number 4. The Blution blocks are all pretty new. I mean, there's a lot of investment going on in here to keep it all looking quite shipshape. The best part of that camp was the elephants. Your camp is basically in the elephant path, so they walk right through the camp. No kidding. Even during the day, a couple of elephants came through. They basically walk right up to your car, walk around it kind of thing, which is really, really cool. At night, on the first night, we had some come through the camp as well. Even while we were cooking the fire, the elephant walked right past the campsite. Nothing wrong. Didn't even blink, not that I could see. And just a fantastic place. Lovely little place. It's also quite salt pans and stuff. Very dry, very remote. Bit of a drive to get there. We took the shortcut, which was very sandy, very soft sand, but that's part of the adventure, right? Then we drove down here to Kubu, went to Gweta, and from Gweta we just stuck straight through, tried to follow this little track. It was quite an interesting way to find your way, especially when the Garmin wants to send you all the way around Nata, around the backside, all the way up through Machumo, which is like 500 kilometers. So from Gweta to Kubu is about 100. Some traffic ahead, can you believe it? Who has right of way out here? The track is here somewhere. So from Gweta to Kubu is about 100. A lot of it is sandy roads, which is not too bad, quite firm, and a little bit of salt pans, and those salt pans are just out of this world. If you've never seen it, come here, have a look. I don't even know if we can do it justice. It's a hot day, it's dry, so much dust, unbelievable. Everyone was very tired. It was a lot more of a drive than we thought it would be. So we get here to the gate and they give us this campsite. And we're like, wait a minute, where's the view? You know, I don't see anything. And you're like a little bit, you could say a little bit disgruntled, but wondering what's going on. And of course you can understand that. We did get a little welcoming present from Mother Nature yesterday as we arrived here. It was blistering hot, it was like 42 or something. The heat was baking, the sun was reflecting, the sand was reflecting it. And then suddenly Mother Nature decides, welcome to Africa, and we had the thunderstorm of note. It was about 20-30 minutes, so not too long, but lightning right above the car and thunder so loud the windows of the car were reverberating. Unbelievable. And that thick, heavy, pelting rain, and then suddenly it's gone, and that heat of the damp earth comes back. But luckily it cooled down a lot during the night, and I had a very good evening. Nice little fire going here. As I said, there's not many people around. There's one other couple down there by that big baobab, and another car down there, and that's it. Nobody else, which is really nice. We've had a lot of luck in that. We haven't had many people in the campsites around us. This place is magical, man. There's nothing here. But then this morning, me and Vic took a walk up around the back of the island, about a kilometer or so up to the top most highest point. We caught the sunrise, which was just fantastic. And you look out over these salt pans and there is just nothing. All the way to the horizon, it's just flat, like a sea. All very different once again. This has been an incredible trip. I don't even know how I'm gonna try and put this into video, because it's just one thing after the other, one amazing experience after the other. And the word for today for Kubu Island is breathtaking. Absolutely breathtaking. And magical. Let's throw that in there as well. So there we go. We're off to Khama Rhino Sanctuary now. A little bit of salt pans back to the main road, and then our off-road driving is done.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. Damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall. tap. I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast, don't remember life before you, that's facts. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall.
I can't believe what they're doing here with Khama Rhino, where they've rehabilitated or saved all these rhinos, which is cool. They've got white rhinos and black rhinos, which is really good. We didn't manage to see any anywhere else, not in Chobe, not in the Kalahari, not in Moremi, not even in Nxai Pan, which is really unusual maybe, but maybe they're all here because they're being protected. And what I mean by protected is literally protected. There is like a security force out here with rifles, and it looks like they even follow the rhinos around, protecting them from poaching, which is crazy, but I respect that hugely. It's incredible. All these rhinos still have their horns, which is also unusual. In South Africa they've cut their horns off to stop the poaching. Here the rhinos are still in their natural form. It was really nice. We got here about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It was still quite a lot cooler than it was the last few weeks, because we came here in a heat wave of note and we struggled, but we managed to get through it all. I went for a quick game drive at about 5 o'clock. We didn't realize we'd be back at 6, and so we rushed around a little bit, got to this waterhole. Lovely little sighting there. We've got some eland, quite a few eland there. A couple of rhino were grazing in the background. This lonely dude was covered in mud and he was just doing his own thing, scratching himself against a tree or something. Yeah, very good. There's a nice little restaurant here. There's a little tuck shop with ice, which is also pretty cool. The check-in process is quite comprehensive. They actually take your passport and photocopy it. They're very serious about this, and they have to be. I mean, you only have one chance. Once the rhinos are gone, they're gone, and this is a fantastic place to come and support them.
I've seen them in a while.
Yeah, there's a pool there, there's a restaurant, a little bar and all of that, which is quite nice. The campsite itself is very nice. The camp pitches are quite far apart. Yeah, I can't show you how that works, but it's about, let's say, 70-80 meters between pitches, which is nice. The pollutions are basic, pretty functional. There is water here, which isn't always the case in Botswana, even warm water. This place is about 2 kilometers from the main gate through this little bush and all of that, which is really rather nice. What we did see was a lot of bird life. No. Spurfowl is the new buzzword these days. Got a squirrel over there, quaffle,
And the crested barbet trying to eat our us.
and a crested barbet being cheeky. This place is fantastic for bird life. It's a really nice camp. Nice big tree around here. Yeah?
No.
Wow. Campsite's pretty good. It's got a little braai area and a fire area and a tap right there, which is quite nice. All kinds of birds right around the camp here, all just chirping away and hopping around. It was really cool. Really nice campsite to come to. I would recommend it. Come and support these guys because they're really doing something special.